Welcome to All Things Haunted, Horrifying, and Hellish.
On All Things Haunted, Horrifying, and Hellish, today I have psychic medium Kevin Whittaker. Kevin, what are some tools that psychic mediums use?
Through the years, I've used tarot cards and Ouija boards and pendulums and ruins. So those are like the physical tools occasionally I use.
That is awesome. Have you ever had an entity following you through your ghost hunting?
I have. We've done quite a few investigations. I've been on 2 other TV shows, but we focus on DarkDealingsParanormal, our YouTube series. But in that, we've had children's spirits follow us, a shadow man once following us through a house, and it can be incredibly scary to have encountered that. But we put ourselves in the positions of being in these places that have that kind of reputation, so it's sometimes our own fault. It's our own curiosity gets the best of us.
Cool. What psychic abilities do you have?
Trying to keep it like base level. I see spirits. I am psychic. That's not mind reading. I got a preview of one of your questions. I'm more of an energy reader. So as people come in, I feel the highs and lows of their life, and I can predict what is their future path based on those highs and lows, that kind of energy and momentum.
What is the most scariest thing that you have encountered in your ghost hunting and things like that?
Yeah, probably my top 5. Twice I've been touched or hit. We were filming Ghost Hunters of the Grand River last season, and we were investigating the Germania Club. And our thought is that there had been a semi-pro wrestler who passed in that club. And it could have been an action from him, but during the investigation, I was slapped on the back of the neck to the point where it left finger marks on my neck.
Oh.
Yeah. So obviously startled me, because that's not a normal reaction from spirit. We've been in places where, like, shadow people or even Hat Men. We, before the interviews, talked a little bit about Hat Man. We've seen those, and I think anytime a spirit presents in a form that's very scary, of course it scares us, or scares homeowners, or our experience with that entity is negative. And then there's been, when I was a child, I'd have these visitations by a spirit that had a very like red face, and always presented as a woman, but her face was like incredibly red, like she was wearing a mask that was red. And as I got older, I didn't connect with her anymore. I thought, well, that may have been a figment of my imagination. But once we were called to a house maybe 10 years ago, where a little boy kept having a bad experience with a spirit, and when I asked him what the spirit was, he had drawn a picture of this lady with a red face and said it looked like she had a mask on. So it caused me to have like all the old childhood fears came back, and it became incredibly scary.
Wow.
And then a couple of instances where I wasn't on investigations. I was in a hotel, a bed and breakfast down in Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the night, I woke to a headless spirit.
Wow.
Yeah. And I left my room. I went to the lobby and I asked them what was up. And they said that during the Battle of Fort Sumter in South Carolina, that people were hit by cannonballs and things, and that that Meeting Street Inn was used as like a hospital ward at that point. So it scared me enough where I asked to change rooms.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's okay to be scared. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you'll keep going forward.
Exactly.
Even though you are scared.
This may come across as silly, but the thing is, I believe that the people who are the scared the most are the most brave, because they show their emotions and they show that they are scared and that they might need some help. and that is the bravest thing some people can do.
I think that's a very fair point. Yeah, I never wanted to be the guy who was completely fearless, because if you behave in a way that's fearless, then you're not respecting what you're encountering. So yes, it's fair to be scared sometimes, and then to feel like, well, that part of me that's curious wants to determine what this is. And probably the weirder moments are the times we're called to a house where people report activity and nothing's going on, or we find a natural cause. We found once an attic full of squirrels. Squirrels had built a nest in that attic. So I told the woman, I was like, ghosts aren't making all these noises. About 25 squirrels in your attic are making the noise. I was like, and of course, when you have someone come and try to smudge them out with the smoke,
right,
the noises get louder because those poor squirrels are being smoked out upstairs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's wild.
One time I went to Ybor City, which is a place that's very run down and derelict.
Okay.
But they do ghost tours there, and I went inside an old theater where they had a Buddha statue, and I was stopped dead in my tracks, and I believe that there were spirits near the Buddha statue telling me to back off and go the other way. And I was like, I've never felt that before, just like a punch in my chest, like, stay there. That's what they said to me.
Sometimes we've encountered statues that are haunted, along with dolls and paintings, and it can catch you off guard. Definitely having that statue there helps kind of lend a face to spirit.
Can you do a reading for me?
Yeah, I can get started. I would have to start with, there's a gentleman who is there with you who feels as if he has passed, so be a spirit, but this may very well be an uncle. Was there within the family a doctor?
Yes, there was.
And this would be an uncle for you?
Not necessarily an uncle, but a doctor.
Okay. I know too that, does the name Jane mean anything to you?
Yes. Jamie Boland, he was a doctor of mine, yeah.
Okay. I know that the way that the spirit connects with you is very protective and watchful. And we shouldn't get weirded out with those kinds of spirits. They're there to make sure that our path is safe, and that we're okay. There's also a woman who I would address as either mom or grandmother, because a very different kind of way is like, I will always be present, always be there for you. No matter where you are, no matter what you do, seems to be her prerogative, her mission in life. I think too that your interest in the dark stuff is fascinating for spirits, but you're kind of the only person in the family who is into the dark stuff, right?
Yes, I know.
and like from an early age, you've always been fascinated. It's both scared you and fascinated you, and so I think that's something that you'll continue to do throughout your life.
Oh yes,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
What cryptids do you believe are real?
Oh, that's a big question. Weirdly, so my team, the Dark Dealings team, is largely me, my son Liam, who's 24, and Sam occasionally. In this season, we'll introduce Maya. But I was the one who was a little bit cryptid resistant. Like, I wasn't sure whether they're real or not. I have the space to believe in Bigfoot. I'm seeing some very compelling evidence. The Yeti, when we start talking about the footprints that were found in the Himalayas, if you're familiar, there's like a whole path of these footprints. It's hard to argue that something didn't leave that there. I am fascinated with like the Loch Ness Monster. The fact that a prehistoric creature could survive, say, the eradication of all the dinosaurs. That's what I feel like may be going on. And there's also a one that's very specific. It's Makile Mbembe. It's a dinosaur reported creature, and are you familiar?
Not yet. I need to know about this creature.
Yeah, it's described by like tribes and groups of people. It was either in the Amazon or Africa. I can't quite remember. But they didn't have access to the information that dinosaurs were a thing. So as they're describing this creature and talking about its similarity to a hippo and a long neck, they drew what was a sauropod, what looked like a brontosaurus, a brachiosaurus, or podosaurus. And so to me, it's like they had to have seen something. I think probably for me, the most credible cryptid might be the goat sucker chupacabra, because there's been a lot of physical evidence of that.
Alrighty, cool. Thank you for talking with me, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.